भविष्यानि च भूतानि
मां तु वेद न कश्चन
मां तु वेद न कश्चन
वेदाहं समतीतानि
वेदाहं समतीतानि
वर्तमानानि च अर्जुन
वर्तमानानि च अर्जुन
भविष्यानि च भूतानि
भविष्यानि च भूतानि
मां तु वेद न कश्चन
मां तु वेद न कश्चन
वेदाहं समतीतानि
वेदाहं समतीतानि
वर्तमानानि च अर्जुन
वर्तमानानि च अर्जुन
भविष्यानि च भूतानि
भविष्यानि च भूतानि
मां तु वेदा न कश्चन
मां तु वेद न कश्चन
वेदाहं समतीतानि
वेदाहं समतीतानि
वर्तमानानि च अर्जुन
वर्तमानानि च अर्जुन
भविष्यानि च भूतानि
भविष्यानि च भूतानि
मां तु वेद न कश्चन
मां तु वेद न कश्चन
वेदं समतीतानि
वेदाहं समतीतानि
वर्तमानानि च अर्जुन
वर्तमानानि च अर्जुन भविष्यानि च भूतानि मां तु वेद न कश्चन
वेदाहं समतीतानि
वेदाहं समतीतानि
वर्तमानानि च अर्जुन
वर्तमानानि च अर्जुन भविष्यानि च भूतानि मां तु वेद न कश्चन
वेदाहं समतीतानि
वेदाहं समतीतानि
वर्तमानानि च अर्जुन
वर्तमानानि च अर्जुन भविष्यानि च भूतानि मां तु वेद न कश्चन वेदाहं समतीतानि वर्तमानानि च अर्जुन भविष्यानि च भूतानि मां तु वेद न कश्चन
Read the synonyms. Veda.
Veda.
No.
No.
Aham. Aham.
Aham.
I. Samatitani.
Samatitani.
Completely past.
Completely past.
Vartamanani.
Vartamanani.
Present.
Present.
Cha.
Cha.
And. Arjuna.
Arjuna.
Oh Arjuna.
Oh Arjuna.
Bhavishyani.
Bhavishyani.
Future.
Future.
Cha.
Cha.
Also.
Also.
Bhutani.
Bhutani.
All living entities.
All living entities.
Mam.
Mam.
Me.
Me.
Tu.
Tu.
But.
But.
Veda.
Veda.
Knows.
Knows.
Na.
Na.
Not.
No.
Kaschana.
Kashana.
Anyone.
Anyone.
Translation in purport by His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
O Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me no one knows. But here the question of personality and impersonality is clearly stated. If Krishna, the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, were Maya, material, as the impersonalists consider him to be, then, like the living entity, he would change his body and forget everything about his past life. Anyone with a material body cannot remember his past life, nor can he foretell his future life, nor can he predict the outcome of his present life. Therefore, he cannot know what is happening in the past, present, and future. Unless one is liberated from material contamination, he cannot know past, present, and future. Unlike the ordinary human being, Lord Krishna clearly says that he completely knows what happened in the past, what is happening in the present, and what will happen in the future. In the 4th chapter, we have seen that Lord Krishna remembers instructing Vivaswan, the sun god, millions of years ago. Krishna knows every living entity because he is situated in every living being's heart as a super soul. But despite his presence in every living entity as super soul and his presence as the supreme personality of Godhead, the less intelligent, even if able to realize the impersonal Brahman, cannot realize Sri Krishna as the supreme person. Certainly, the transcendental body of Sri Krishna is not perishable. He is just like the sun, and Maya is cloud. In the material world, we can see that there is the sun, and that there are clouds and different stars and planets. The clouds may cover all these in our limited vision. The sun, moon actually cover, and out of thousands and thousands of such perfected men, hardly one can understand what Lord Krishna is. Even if one is perfected by realization of impersonal Brahman or localized Paramatma, he cannot possibly understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, without being in Krishna consciousness. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamyam Dadati Swapadantam Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidhinadane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all again for joining for our Sunday Love Feast program here at ISKCON Philadelphia. Before I speak, I would like to seek blessings and permission from all the assembled Vaishnavas. So, Vedaham samatitani vartamanani cha Arjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kashchana. Krishna is really a very mysterious person. As he says, out of many people, only hardly one can understand. And he's saying, I know everyone's past, present, and future of all the living entities. Even the future he knows. Although it's all open, nothing has happened, still he knows. Yeah. But he says at the same time, no one knows me. Yeah. So we'll discuss this verse. And so many in the previous verses we were talking about how different classes of people try to understand God. So much speculation is there everywhere. Here, this is Bhagavad Gita as it is. And Bhagavad Gita means Song of God. And chapter is titled Knowledge of the Absolute. And who is the Absolute? Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the Bhagavad Gita is really very special. Unlike in some other places where somebody else is talking, who is God, what it means to be God, here Krishna himself is speaking about himself. He's saying how he is God and what it means to be God. Yeah. So before we discuss about this verse, I thought we can also go a little back now and how Prabhupada is, in the previous verses, he has been discussing about how people speculate. You know, like I said, Krishna is a very mysterious person. It's not very easy to understand. Yeah. Some people think he's a mythological character. Some people think he's one of the many Hindu gods. Or some people think he's one of the three Hindu gods, like Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu. Yeah. And some people think, as we discussed in the previous verse last week, some people think he is impersonal, that the absolute truth has no form. He's formless. He has no qualities, no activities. Yeah, and we cannot describe him. Yeah, and that he comes as a material manifestation as Krishna. This is what some people Prabhupada explained in the previous verse, Abudaya. Yeah. So many misunderstandings are there. And some people think they understand Krishna. So they think like this and they start giving courses about Krishna. They start writing books about Krishna. Right? So, people in general, majority of the people, they don't know or they don't understand what it means to be God. So, what happens, sometimes, please see this in India a little bit, somebody shows some type of a miracle a little bit, then innocent, gullible people think or consider them to be God. Yeah? So, like, if somebody can levitate a little bit, or if somebody can walk on water, or if somebody can, pull some ash or gold from thin air, then people start considering them to be God. Yeah? Because majority of the people have no idea what it means to be God. And we heard even in several purports in this chapter itself that Krishna is the source of everything. Everything comes from him, right? Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadhirade Govinda Sarvakaran Karanam. If he is the source of everything, if everything emanates from him, that is something, right? In the 7th verse of this chapter also, we discussed Matta Parataram Nanya Kinchidasti Dhananjaya. Right? He says, there is no truth superior to me. Everything is resting on me. Krishna is speaking. Everything is resting on me, just as pearls are strung on a thread. So, a little bit of yogic power or mystic power, one cannot be God. Yeah. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, at the end, Sanjaya says, at the end of the Bhagavad Gita, right? Tatra Shri Vijayo and Bhuti. Right? That is, opulence is there, victory is there, and Bhuti is extreme power. So, and why I am saying this is so many, people show some mystic powers and they are able to do these things. But Krishna is saying, I am Yogeshwara. I am the Lord of all these yogis. I am the Lord of all these mystic powers. Yeah. And we see everybody to some extent has a little bit of these powers. Yeah. We can't fly, but there are some species that can fly. Right? So everybody has a little bit of mystic powers, but God is the supreme mystic. Yeah. So these cheap tricks that some people display, innocent, gullible people, are bewildered. Some examples are given. Once Prabhupada gives this about a boy who left the village and went for many years. All the to walk on water.
Hari.
Years, I can just pay 2 cents to the boatman and he'll take me across the river. So your tricks are about 2 cents. So from a general point of view, they might seem exceptional, but from a devotional point of view, they mean nothing, very, very insignificant. Yeah. So this power people have, and then once there was a magician, who came to Srila Prabhupada. This magician's name is P.C. Sarkar. Yeah. He came to Prabhupada and he showed some photos of all the magic that he did. Yeah. And he said, look, I would like to put up a show for all of you. And Prabhupada was there and the devotees were there. So Prabhupada agreed. Okay, for about 20 minutes, half an hour, he presented his magic show. Each of his hands did a lot of tricks. He used Prabhupada as a stools there, behind his ear. He made some coins disappear, and then he made them seemingly reappear. Everybody had a laugh. Prabhupada also laughed heartily. And then, after the magic, Prabhupada asked him, okay, you made all these coins disappear. Can you make birth, old age, disease, and death disappear? He said, no, Swamiji, I can't. And Prabhupada said, well, I can. And then, the P.C. Sarkar, he accepted, you are a better magician than me. Why? Because Prabhupada knew who is God, how to love God, and he taught everybody how to love God. So that's how you are able to free from the cycle of birth, old age, disease, and death. And some people, and this is one last example, and then we'll get into the essence of the verse. I just wanted to give a flavor of some of the things, how unintelligent, less intelligent, innocent people fall prey to these things. So, and these yogis, some of them, they don't deny. They don't deny when people call them God, they don't deny. If you're honest and somebody came to you, you're God, what will you say? True. You will deny. So there was this person who claimed to be God or Bhagwan. Okay. And then when devotees went and talked to him, he said, oh, I never claimed I am God. And the devotees understand, but your followers claim that you are God or Bhagwan. Oh, my followers do, but I don't. Then the devotee said, how come you don't stop them? How come you don't stop them from calling you God? And in Sanskrit there is this called Maunam Sammati Lakshanam. What does silence mean? Assent, agreeing. If you murder somebody, you're silent. What does it mean? Yeah. So just few examples I wanted to show, to tell. So, now coming back to this point here, Prabhupada is talking about one of the very key characteristics of God, that He knows past, present, and future. So anybody who claims to be an incarnation or avatar of God, the scriptures explain what are the few things that they have to demonstrate. Yeah. One is their appearance is predicted way before in the scriptures. It's already there that so and so incarnation will happen in so and so time in so and so place. So and so place. And that personality will have some specific marks on his body, especially on his feet. Yeah, and he will display some really superhuman pastimes. And then also he displays universal form. So these are some things very important. And God is one who is unlimited. What does it mean to be unlimited? It means He knows everything. In every respect, He is unlimited. Even with respect to knowledge, He is unlimited. Yeah? He has direct knowledge of everything and everybody. There is nothing beyond the Lord's purview. Nothing. Okay? Indirectly, directly, Krishna understands everything. So Prabhupada, to explain this in the purport, he is talking about the personal and impersonal form. Yeah, especially he's emphasizing on the personal aspect of the Lord. Yeah, because some people, less intelligent people, they consider him to be impersonal, right? Some light. So this brings us to the topic of Mayavad. You know, Mayavad philosophy. What does it imply? So Mayavad means the Lord's body is made up of material elements. Very simple. The philosophy which believes that the Lord's body is made up of material elements. Just like your body and my body is made up of material elements. So they consider Lord's body is also made up of material elements. And that was the verse we discussed last week. Yeah? Avyaktam vyaktim apannam. Right? Manyante ma abuddhaya. So less intelligent people, what they consider that from the formless, a form has come. And that form is material. Yeah? They don't know that param bhavam ajananto. They don't know that the Lord's form is transcendental, that the Lord's form is imperishable. They don't know. Yeah? They think that once his activities are over here, he'll merge into the impersonal life. So the question comes up, why? Why do some people think that God is Lord's form is material? One of the explanations given is, if you see carefully, all the forms that we identify, we all have a material body. Everything that we see around, the form is material. Right? Whether it's human form, animal body, a tree, all of them have a material body. What does it mean? There's a beginning, exists for some time, and then vanishes. Right? We identify only any tree you see, maybe a few hundred years at the most, yeah, or several hundred years, like the redwood trees in California, or any animal you see, right? This body is there, the beginning exists for some time, vanishes. Because this is the only form we identify, so we think God also has a material form. Yeah? So people don't know. So Prabhupada explains that Krishna's body is transcendental. It is imperishable. And that is why our body is material, so we forget. Any body, see, material body means temporary. Material body means ignorance. Right? Spiritual body means, spirit means eternal. Spirit means full of knowledge. Spirit means bliss. Yeah? We have a material body which is temporary, which is full of ignorance. Lord has a spirit. So this is a big one main point that we take away from today's class. Why the Lord is able to remember? He is not taking birth like you and me. He is not. Yeah? We are forced to take birth. Right? Did anybody pick their parents? No, we are all forced to take birth, but the Lord is not. He says, I am unborn. I come in the self-same body, Krishna says. So this is one important point that we need to remember, and that is why He knows the past, present, and the future. Yeah? Our body, if you see, very limited. Our knowledge is very limited. Even forget about knowing about others' body. I don't know what's going on in your body. Even I don't know what's going on in my own body. So much technology is advancing, still doctors struggle to tell you what's going on in your body. Right? But Krishna is present as Paramatma, He knows everything. What's going to happen also He knows. Yeah? So our knowledge is very limited. Bottom line, material bodies are destructible, material bodies are perishable. That is why our memory is wiped out. Yeah. So we are different from Krishna. Our God is different. Yeah. He knows the past, He knows the present, and He knows the future. Yeah. For us, we have forgotten the past. The future is a mystery. Present also we are unsure. Right? All three dark phases. All three. So, but Krishna knows everything. Yeah. That's why in the fifth verse of the Bhagavad Gita, he says, Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacha arjuna tani ham veda sarvani. Right? He said, Bahuni me vyatitani. So many lifetimes you and I have gone through. But you don't remember anything. You have forgotten. But I am not forgotten. Krishna says, same, very similar to today's verse. So, and he says, Ajo, the next verse he says, Ajo Pisan Avyayatma Bhutanam Ishvara Pisan. He says, I never take a material body. Yeah. I'm never born. My form is completely transcendental. Yeah. He plays the role of a human being. Yeah. And he's present in the heart of everybody as Paramatma. Yeah. So, and then he also says that in the purport, Prabhupada is also explaining about in the fourth chapter, we have seen that Lord Krishna remembers instructing Vivaswan, the sun god, millions of years ago. Now, listen to this. This is a very important point that will further substantiate our understanding of this verse. In the first verse of the fourth chapter, what does Krishna say? Imam vivasvate yogam proktavan ahamape. So he says, Arjuna, this is not the first time I am speaking the Bhagavad Gita. I spoke this Bhagavad Gita millions of years ago to who's the sun god Vivaswan. And Vivaswan spoke to Manu. Manu spoke to Ikshvaku, and that's how to mankind this knowledge has been passed. And then he says, the saintly kings received this knowledge. In the next verse he says, Evam parampara praptam imam rajalasa yovidus sakale neha mahata yogo nashta. He said this knowledge was received this way, but somehow along the line, this knowledge, the chain was broken. So that is why I am saying this knowledge to you again. Giving this knowledge to you again. And he explains why I am giving to you. Bhaktosi me sakhache. You are my devotee and friend. And immediately Arjuna has a doubt. Immediately he says, Bahuni me vyatitani. Vivasva. No, what was that verse? Yes. Yeah. So he says, how come sun god is so senior to you by birth? You are my contemporary, I have seen you. It is millions of years ago. How do I understand? Katam etat vijaniyam. How do I understand that you have spoken to him? Krishna explains. I don't take birth. I always existed. Yeah. So this is one very, very important point that we have to remember. And this is why Krishna remembers everything. Yeah. Even if one is perfected by realization of impersonal Brahman or localized Paramatma, he cannot possibly understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna without being in Krishna consciousness. So this is the key. Yes, we started off with so many people speculating. We started off with saying Krishna is serious, it's very difficult to understand, it's very difficult to understand. But Krishna also gives a recipe. Prabhupada is explaining how you can understand me. And what happens in the fourth chapter, he also explains Janma karma chayatityam evam yogeti tattataha tyatva dehanma naiti mameti swarjuna. If you know me, my appearance, my activities, then you will not take birth again. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, in the 9th verse of the 4th chapter. So how do we understand, with our material knowledge or with our puffed up pride, we cannot understand Krishna. Only through the process of bhakti or devotion, we can understand Krishna. And in the beginning I was saying that so many people are writing books about Krishna. They're teaching courses about Krishna. If I think, if you look around in this material world, if you go outside, majority of the people are thinking gratifying my senses in this body is the goal of my life, right? Everybody is just gratifying their senses. They think that is the purpose of life. Why? Because the the thinking is I am this body, and the this is illusion. Thinking that I am this body is illusion, and in this illusion, forget about contrary. It's here, it will be gone. Like this human form of life is very, very rare. If we don't use it for a higher purpose, then we will be going through this cycle of birth and death, life after life, and struggling in this material existence. And who knows when we will get a human form of life? It's very, very rare. There's some 8.4 million species of life. So it's very rare. Durlabha Manava Janma. So if we don't use it for a higher purpose, then we fall down into lower species of life. Yeah. So when we start understanding that I am not this body, I am this soul, then we can begin to understand Krishna. So, na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, na jayate mrite bhakadachin. Means the soul always exists. Unlike this body, the body is temporary, right? We just discussed that it comes into being, exists for some time and vanishes. But the soul always exists. Antavanta ime deha. Krishna says the body has a beginning and end, but the soul always exists. And I am a soul, you are a soul, and this is the eternal truth, and will always exist. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, you existed in the past, you are existing now, and you will continue to exist. That individuality will never be lost. I am an individual, Krishna is also an individual, but he is the supreme individual. Yeah. And if you see, if we track down, right, I have a father, you have a father, if we track down his father, his father, his father, his father, who is the original father? Yes? Aham bija prajapita. Krishna says, yeah? Aham bija sarva bhutani. He says, I am the original seed of all existence. I am the father of all the living entities. So, unless we understand this, we cannot understand Krishna. So here, through this process of bhakti yoga, we can understand this. When you come to the temple, we all have little faith. We all had little interest to know more about Krishna. That's why we came to the temple. Right? How many of you agree to this?
Mercy.
We all have little interest, little faith, so we have come to temple. Yeah. So the process, Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Satam Praja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayashrami Mahasuja. We have two choices. Either we surrender to Krishna voluntarily, or we are forced to surrender to his Maya or material energy and go through the struggle of material existence, birth after birth. And so we have the choice. So voluntarily surrender to Krishna, or be forced to go through the struggle of material existence. So once you come to temple, so here is the key, the process of Krishna consciousness is in the association of devotees. Sadhu Sangha, Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha. So in the association of devotees, when we read and discuss the Bhagavad Gita, read about Krishna, read from Krishna, benefited. Where I was, I'm very grateful to all the sadhus for nurturing me and teaching me. So through the association of Krishna. Otherwise, in the material world, you go out, life is all about reunions, sports, movies, all this temporary flickering happiness. That's all that is there. So, Krishna is explaining here that, and these sadhus or devotees, what they do, they engage us in some service. By sevan mukho jiva, by chanting the names of Krishna, like we all did in the beginning, we chanted the name of Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So devotees engage us in some practical service, and it doesn't matter what that service is. You may be a very advanced devotee, you could be a beginner. He is interested in our sincerity, in our loving devotion to Him. Otherwise, what can be offered to Him? Everything belongs to Him, right? Everything belongs to Him. It's His. So all we can do is offer our love and devotion to Him. And it doesn't really matter who recognizes, who doesn't recognize, who appreciates, who doesn't appreciate. You know why? As Prabhupada explains in the purport, Krishna is present in the heart of every living entity as Paramatma. He knows everything. And He says, don't worry. Anybody knows, doesn't know, doesn't matter. I'll protect you. And He says, Swalpam apyasya dharmasya prayate mahato bhaya. I will protect you from the greatest danger. And He says, the association of devotees. There are so many Bhagavatam sessions, Bhagavad Gita sessions in the morning, evening, all through the week. You can sign up, you will receive all these notifications. Some of us are benefiting, everybody can benefit. And by associating with devotees, they engage us in some practical service, either sweeping the floor of Krishna's temple, offering a flower, cooking, whatever it is. Some service practically, and through this process, under the guidance of an advanced devotee, we can try to understand Krishna. This of surrender. This is the process of bhakti yoga. Yeah. And Srila Prabhupada, at the age of 70, came all the way from India to America to give us this, as it is, knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita, so we all can benefit. Yes, by this process, we can slowly get to that stage where we can develop taste for love for Krishna, and hopefully develop pure love for Krishna. Yeah, I'll stop here. And thank you so much for your attention, and please forgive me. Hare Krishna. Any comments, reflections? Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for a wonderful class, Prabhu. You mentioned specifically about how precious human birth is, and talking about the majority of our brethren that are engaged in sense gratification, specifically as the goal of life. My question to you would be, in response to those who practice other faiths, prefaced by sharing an experience. I was having a conversation with a colleague about Ayurvedic medicine, and a third party was listening who happened to be Catholic, and falsely assumed I was talking about religious principles. So I quickly explained it's not even spiritual, it's just medicine and knowledge about our bodies. And the person, you could tell, was offended that we were discussing anything other than that particular interpretation of God, right? And the knowledge base is so limited in that, God the Father who art in heaven, all that. So my question to you would be, what do we do about those folks who are so staunch in their beliefs about a particular interpretation of God, to the point where they're not even receptive to anything other than that? What would you say in response to those souls?
I'll make an attempt for seeing if devotees can better answer your question. Look, we try our best, and then always leave them with a good impression. It's okay. Everybody has their own journey. Yeah. spend too much of your energy. You try your best, and if somebody has and Christian, Prabhupada also said, right, if you're a Christian, be a good Christian. Yeah, if you're a Muslim, be a true Muslim. So there are different names of the Lord. So yeah, everybody has their own journey. At some point they'll come to that. So there's no point. So leave them with a good impression and pray. Maybe some other devotees can. Yes, Prabhu.
Just a different subject, different question.
Anybody else is here who wants is Acharya? No, anyone else has a better answer for this? Maybe it's Archana Bhatta? Dronacharya, you want to say something about that question? Okay. I know there are more comments. Should we stop? What do you suggest?
I'm going to start the RT in just a minute, so it can be very quick.
Yes, Prabhu.
I just want to thank you for another wonderful class. And thank you for coming. It's wonderful. Thank you for a wonderful class, and thank you for sharing your wisdom. I just really appreciated at the end when you're talking about so many things about your class, but when you were speaking about people that fall down, and in one way or another, all of us have had some kind of mental fall. I can speak for everybody, but I can speak for me. And I heard a phrase from a devotee a long time ago that I really loved. A Christian, as you said, he knows everything, future, past, present. So he knows you're going to fall down. But the devotee said to me, in some ways, Krishna doesn't care exactly how much you fall down, but as you get back up, that you keep struggling to try and love him, take another step forward toward him, and he takes time toward you. So we get back up every time, even if it hurts, and you apologize to someone if you're being offensive, or any of those things. That we get back up and we keep trying every day.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, get back up and get the association of sadhus, and then they can help us bring back. Yes, it happens to all of us at some point in time, and it can happen. So, see, Krishna doesn't interfere with our free will, as you know, right? He knows everything, but he doesn't interfere. He doesn't spoil the game either. He doesn't tell us what's going to happen. And we can't worry too much also, yeah? We do our part, and then Krishna will take it. But yes, point noted. That's why we try to minimize some of these associations, which are not favorable for our spiritual advancement, as much as practically possible. But yes. Thank you so much, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
We'll now have kirtan, and noticing we have 100% of the people and about 2/3 of the room, so there's about a third of the room up here. People in the back can slide up, get a little closer to the front. And also along the edge there, with the ladies' arms, sometimes ladies like to dance on that side, so let's give them a spot to dance, so we can slide over more towards the center, and we'll also be praying. Hare Krishna.
Krishna
hearts out there. That's really, really wonderful to see. Devotees come together, chanting the Lord's names, dancing. What pleasure it brings. We're filled with joy. Krishna sees that joy. It's directed to him. I hope you're all feeling actually in your hearts. Thank you for Davaneshwar for leading us tonight. Great time. This week is for Davaneshwar's birthday, I heard. Give her some birthday wishes. Stand Hare Krishna for her. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Sorry. Couldn't help myself.
Thank you, man. You know what happened. Okay, a couple quick announcements and then we'll have Sarat Prashad for dinner. We want to give thanks and recognize our sponsor tonight for the feast. Tonight's feast is sponsored in the loving memory of the late Sri Deepak K. Das. It's been offered by his wife, Sandhya Das, his son Ajit Das, daughter-in-law Sarmisha Banerjee, and the grandsons Rishabh and Parmesh Das. So the members of the family here tonight, I'd like to bring them forward. To give some Mahaprasad. I do want to say that your father, Deepak, he used to invite devotees from Mayapur when they would come, and he would bring them in, and he would kirtan, he would feed them, he would serve them very nicely. Mayapur is the home of Lord Chaitanya, and devotees there are very special. So the service he did to them was very much recognized by Lord Krishna. Very much thankful, very thankful for that. So we have some Mahaprasad. Thank you. We want to pray for Deepak, gave us, and chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you so very much. If anybody was interested in sponsoring the feast, or a loved one, a special occasion, or just the blessings of the devotees, you can do so online or at the front desk. Now, Mother Shobharati has an announcement. Mother Shobharati, if you don't know her right now, she's the head of our Sunday school. If you have young ones and you want to get them involved with Krishna consciousness, seek out Mother Shobharati.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Yes, we had 2 new students today, and I hope they enjoyed the class. Last week I told you about the field trip. It's happening on May 6th. Almost half the class is full, and we have a few more Sunday school families that are going to come on. The information is in the newsletter. There's Mataji outside at the book table with a computer. Please just go to her and let her know if you want to get on the bus and come to New York. We are going to go to Matchless Gifts, which is Prabhupada's first temple in the U.S. We will go on to Compton Square Park, which is the first temple that Prabhupada did. And then go to Brooklyn Temple, have Prasad, and then get a donut at the donut plant. And also, we're getting t-shirts for all the Sunday school children. Usually it's a surprise, they wear it at a picnic. I'll just say that if you wear this t-shirt, you will always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. So if you want a t-shirt, please seek out Sarita Mata. She's also outside. Let her know what size you want. She can give you all the Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mother Shobharati. Next Saturday and Sunday, we have an in-person training offered by Mother Sangeeta and the Vaishnava Care Group. This is Vaishnava Care training. This is for specifically learning how to care for devotees in their later later stages of life, those that are terminally ill, those that are in the Mother Sugita is a registered hospice nurse as well as a certified grief counselor. She's written a book called, I think it's called The Final Journey. This talks about end-of-life care. End of life is such an important time, especially for devotees, because it's at that time we're basically leaving this world and hoping to go to the spiritual world. And we need more caregivers in this community, people that are able to learn the science, how to give care toward the end of life. And I'm very thankful to Mother Sugita because she's doing it in person. I want to say these in-person trainings are really fabulous. We've had experience with doing Zoom trainings over the last 2 years since COVID, and nothing really compares. I mean, you really have to be honest. Do you work harder when you're at home, or do you work harder when you're at work? We all work harder when we're actually in the office. Do you work harder when you're in person talking to somebody, or in the Zoom, sphere? You all know that we're more attentive when we're actually in person. So this in-person training is really grateful to have you back again. And if you're interested in this, Mother Sugita, again, her team are offering this next Saturday and Sunday in person here at the temple. If you want to sign up, it's in the newsletter, or you can stop by the front desk. Following week, April 28th, 29th, and 30th, there is a Disciples Course training. This is being offered by Utama Group, as our GBC, as well as this Common Communications Director. And this is for anybody who is interested in taking the path of initiation. You may not be ready just yet, but maybe it's on your horizon. You want to learn more about the relationship between a guru and a disciple. This is the class for you. If you're interested, come see me. Stop by the front desk. You can sign me up. Also, I wanted to mention that Mother Narayani, very senior devotee in this conference, Srila Prabhupada, she's actually the first Vaishnavi Diksha Guru in this country. She's going to be coming to our temple, doing a 4-day seminar, April 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. Excuse me, May. Thank you. This is in May next month. So it'll be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I think it's the 11th, the 12th, 13th, and 14th. Very educated. She teaches the Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Bhagavad. I think the highest level is called Bhakti Vedanta. She's written manuals for these. She loves giving seminars on Srimad Bhagavatam. So, more information to come, but please mark that weekend out because we'll have lots of festivities during that weekend. Also, May 4th is the Shrimad Chaturdashi. That is the appearance day of Lord Shrimad. It's on Thursday evening. We'll be having a program in the evening, so mark it down. When you're thinking about the things you got to do, maybe going to work a little bit early, or today when you get a chance to work from home, maybe you can work from home that day. Last thing I want to mention is that in January we started a program here. It's the first time we really kicked it off formally, and that is a yoga program. We offer yoga, kind of like a hatha yoga, sangha yoga. And we really marketed this to try to reach our neighbors. And tonight, I always say that the next time the two yoga teachers are here, I'm going to bring them up to meet them. So I want to bring up Hosea and Tiffany. They can come forward. It's important. They give their time in the service. Some devotees come and take advantage of their classes. But a lot of people who never really came into a Hare Krishna temple before, never met devotees, never had prasadam, they've come into our community because of the classes that they offer. Say a few things about maybe some of the experiences of the people you've met.
Hare Krishna, everyone. I just want to say that this program that Jose and I are doing, I feel like it's very, very valuable because it is bringing in so many people, as Srila Prabhu said, would never even been inside teach on Thursday afternoon and Thursday at noon from 12 to 1. So please, if you are available during those times, we welcome you to come because it's really opening things up for the neighbors and the surrounding community as well. So thank you so very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, everything that Tiffany said, absolutely, it's really beautiful when the devotees come to the class and the neighbors come and they get to have such association. And that's really a nice thing to say, so you're all very invited. And thank you to all the devotees and Pujaris of the temple who have helped so much to get the program as well, to keep the floor clean and to help with the prasad. It's very appreciated by the neighbors and by us. We're going to have a special Saturday program because I know a lot of people can't come in the week. So on April 29th and March 20th, we'll have some special Saturday workshops. Particularly on the 20th, you might like it. We're going to have kirtan singer from DC doing like a live kirtan as we go through some yoga asanas. That'll be really nice. And then on the 29th, we'll combine herbalism and yoga and look at some of the plants around the spiritual
Thank you so much for serving Sean. Okay, so we'll break down for Prashad. All these announcements that we made, I know is a lot of information to go. It's in our newsletter. Please read our newsletter, open it up, check it out. It takes a minute or two to read through. If you have any questions, you're not subscribed to the newsletter, come see me or stuff on the podcast.
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.